Hello friends, today's video is filled with fun and interactive game ideas. These are all paper pencil games and require no material. Not only will they keep your children entertained, but will also allow them to develop strategy, vocabulary and logic. Above all, they are a great way to bond with the children and to keep them busy during this lockdown. Welcome to Happiness Mintra. Do like and share this video. Let me know which games you'll play with your little ones. If you're new here, do subscribe and turn on the notifications to stay connected. The first game is tic-tac-toe. I'm sure all of us know how to play it, so we should teach it to our children. For those of you who don't, one player puts an X, the other player will put an O. Now these can be put anywhere within this grid. The next one again puts an X. The aim is to complete a set of X vertically, horizontally or diagonally. X and O's of course. Now it's turn for O. The O player blocked this. X blocked this. O blocked this. Oh, this game is going to be a draw. So we can just complete it, but it is a draw. There could be a scenario where you win in case you are able to complete any line vertically, horizontally or diagonally. A variant of this game is SOS, which I really enjoy. The reason being it's a little more complicated and a lot more fun to play with the older children. I'll just explain how to play SOS. It's similar to tic-tac-toe. The concept is almost the same. The grid here is usually in equal numbers, which means 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 6 by 6, any number like that. So how do you start? You start with one player writing an S, another one putting an O. The concept is the same. SOS should be formed horizontally, vertically or diagonally. The next player puts an S and cuts it like this so that we know which player completed it. Now the one who completes it gets another chance, which means this player will need to write O again. Suppose he writes O here, the next one now gets a chance to complete an SOS and it's done. It's marked with the color of the second player. So pink player has one, green one has another one. You keep carrying on and playing the game till the whole grid is full, and the one with the maximum number of SOS is obviously the winner. It's a cool game to play. Do try it with your children and let me know how it went. Another game to keep the children really busy is Box Me Off. You need a grid like this with lots of dots. The dots need to be in a square pattern. A player makes a line, another one makes another line, this player will make another one, green, turn for the pink one. Now here, in case the pink person makes a complete square, then that person would win this. So it's the green would block it. The second player will block this and this was not complete. Now turn for the pink one. The pink one can carry forward here or make a fresh line anywhere. So the idea is to form a complete box, and the moment you form a box, this is just an example. If you form a box like this, you can write the initial of your name in the block, and then the one with the maximum number of initials is the winner. Now, Hangman's Noose is a common game which we have been playing when we were young. I think Hangman is a little gory for the children, so I substitute it with Spaceman. The idea behind the game is that you think of a word and you put in the dash for the letters that the word has. For instance, if I think of animal, I'll write A-N-I-M-A-L. these are the dashes that I would put. It gives the other player a clue as to how many letters are there in the word. Now the other player will just have to call out any letter. Suppose the player says A. A-N-I-M-A. So I add A in 2 places, which are the correct places for this particular letter. Next letter, the person calls out R. It is not there anywhere, so I put a R here, cross it out and draw one part of the hangman or the astronaut in my case. So basically, for every correct letter, the letter will be written in the blanks. For a wrong letter, the letters are written here, and one by one you complete the parts of the hangman if you're playing based on the hangman or the astronaut. Within the time span it takes to complete the diagram, this word should have been guessed by the person. If the person guesses it correctly, the person wins, otherwise the person loses. So how many tries do we get for it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a 7th one to hang it. So basically in this game you can get 7 tries. If you feel that the child is too young, then you can even add eyes, nose, mouth. It really doesn't matter. It is just a question of how many chances you want to give. I'll quickly draw the astronaut for you also, so that it's not very difficult. For those of you who are not very good at drawing, you might want to skip the game just because who would draw an astronaut? Okay, so you put an oval, you make a window like this. This is part of the space suit. You write a big U kind of thing here. You can make a pocket with a star, again optional. Make a hand, make another hand, draw a leg with the shoe, another leg with the shoe. Now how many chances you want to give is completely up to you. You can have the leg and shoe in one go, or you can split it into 2 parts. Completely depends on the age of the child and the difficulty level at which you're playing. Enjoy this game with the children. It's wonderful to teach them spellings, increase their vocabulary, guesswork, works on their logical skill. It's a fun time, fun game, and all you need is a paper and a pencil to play it. Now our next game is Pictionary and Dumb-Charades as well. Both can be played using the same rules. So for this, if you're playing it at home, what I've done is made a few chits where I've written down different words. Because obviously, since I'm assuming that it's a 2-player game, we cannot have too many people around. Since it's 2 players, so you know my chit has words like mango, bird, bride, cat, house, big, angry, apple tree. Now I've made these chits assuming that the child is really young, but if you have an older child, words like angry or big, more adjectives, even some adverbs would really be effective. Just fold the chits like this. And both the players can make equal number of chits. So, you know, if there are 2 of you and you think that you have enough time to go in for 10 chances, make 5 chits each. Once this is done, just mix and match the chits together. Open one of it, house. Okay. So the one who opens it will have to now draw a picture so that the other person can guess it. Again, good for guesswork, good for drawing skills, good for pre-writing skills, a very nice game for children who are not too interested in drawing, not interested in writing. For them, it would work wonders. Dumb-Charades can be done in the same way, but in the chits we can write something which can be acted out. So, you know, emotions are better. You can use names of books, names of movies, anything else that you feel like. So you make chits like this, put them together, pick up one chit. It could be a chit that you write or your partner writes, doesn't really matter. Pick it up and act it out. So again, acting skills, it's fun, it's hilarious. Often if you're not able to guess, it leads to a riot comedy at home. Now the next game is Battleship. It is one of my favorites. We basically need a grid 10 by 10. I have taken a printout here because it's much easier, but you can just draw these squares, nothing very difficult. And we'll need 2 sets of this. So there are 10 here, and this side it is A to J. There are 2 benefits of playing this particular game. It teaches initial coding to children, plus of course strategy, and it's a lot of fun and entertaining and keeps you busy for a long time. If you have the game, of course you can play it. This is an alternate in case you don't have the game at home. I have another video of 5 brain boosting games where I have put in Battleship as one of the games. You can check that out in case you actually want to buy the game and see it. Okay, so if you're doing it on paper, each player needs to have a sheet like this. Ideally, they should have 2 sheets, but that gets too cumbersome. I prefer using a single sheet. So now, supposing this is my sheet, the first thing I need to do is mark my ships. In a paper pen version, I use 3 ships, one of length 4, another of length 3, another of length 2. You can of course have more ships. The original game has 5, 4, 3, 3 and 2. So it has 5 ships of these lengths. Now since I am taking 3 ships, 4, 3 and 2, the first thing I need to do is mark on my sheet where the ships would go. So suppose my 4 is here, my 2 is here and my 3 is, let me put it here. Okay, so that is the strategy that I have developed. I have hidden my ships in these areas of the grid. The other player will of course do the same on their sheet. Now the next step is to call out combinations so that you can locate the ship of your partner. I call out C3, C3 which is here. In case my partner's ship is in this grid, the person will say yes. Okay, so I can just mark it with a circle so that I know that the ship is there, otherwise I put a cross. Now the other person calls out. The other person says, for example, G4. So this is G and this is 4. My ship is here. So I'll say yes or I'll say hit. That is the correct terminology. So we say hit, which means that our ship has been hit, and the other player in their sheet at G4 would mark a circle. The game keeps continuing till you locate each other's ships, and the first person to locate all the ships is of course the winner.